Welcome to Pub Sports Radio NFL Pub Hub. Thank you guys for joining us. We are back at our original home, our channel, Pub Sports Radio. Suspension served. And the great thing about handicapping sports is you go to sleep, you wake up, and it's a new day. So who cares what happened in some other fucking sport? Today is football, and I already cashed the Packers first half -4. So let's fucking go. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We've had a great start by all of our cappers here on NFL Pub Hub. Today, on today's show, we have first, second, and third, and fifth rolling with us. Eighth, too, with Gogster. We have special cappers, and the capper who's not succeeding at the level of the others is last year's champion, Big Ragoo. So it's going to be really, really enjoyable. Bobano has the lead here, 19-9 plus 9.03 units. He'll be closing up the show. Flash opened up his account here on NFL Pub Hub, going 6-0 last week. So he's back. He's going right before Bobano. And then we got Billy Brisbane coming to us live from the Mohegan Sun Casino. He's getting that paper. He's gone 6-1 plus 5.96 units. So all three of those guys will be on the show. And Gogster, he got screwed by Judy getting hurt because he went 2-0 with his other action 2 weeks ago when he was here. And then Judy got hurt, so he lost those props. So Gogster looking very good thus far. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm very, very, very excited. So let me pop this out so I can give you guys individual what-ups here. Sky Dragon says Pittsburgh plus 14 is the only bet you need today. And Sky Dragon says apparently I'm the only one that didn't know the Giants were free money today, or the Packers. Yes. Look, I kept saying it over and over again on my shows. Look, and I haven't cashed the full game yet, but I had a sneaking suspicion that even though the Sharps were on the Giants, that Aaron Rodgers was going to ball out in the UK on a standalone game because he picks and chooses when he wants to be a superstar. And it just felt, well, let's get home before I start slapping myself on the ass. Like our first guest, Mr. Gogster, Fanatical Jim in the house, Jedi for Life, Raymond Reichart, Bo Jackson, Nuke Worker. Sammy Comer has his action in right there. I'm going to copy and paste it. Great to see you, Sammy. Beautiful. I'm going to copy and paste that. So I'm going to go over a couple things, my action, the two spots that I'm close to adding, and then our Circa Millions picks, which I'm extremely nervous about. Lee Federchak ready to get to work. NJ Stryker coming off a 5-0 week in our Pub Sports Radio Cappers contest. We see you, New Jersey Stryker. Respect. Great, great work. Starchild, Jimmy Gomez in the house. Jimmy, great to see you. Starchild going straight up against our Dennis Garcia. LJ from H-Town ready to get to work. And Nunya Coin, Justin Irvin, Larry Garr, Tori Coker, Michael Murphy, Gerardo Hernandez ready to get to work. Troy Torrance in the house. I did, Troy. It was the one spot on the board that I said I was probably going to lose. And it wasn't that I was fading the Sharps. It was just that I know that my gut's a losing capper, but is he, what does my gut hit under 40%? No, but it doesn't hit over 53.5. I just had a feeling about Rodgers. That's all. I just had a feeling about Rodgers, and I needed to go right to the bank with it and get that fucking money. LJ from H-Town getting Cleveland +3. Okay, and there's Nutflush Allen in the house. Okay, we're all here. We're all together. We're all ready to make money on this Sunday. Let's review the action I have already. Packers first half cash. Packers full game -8. We will see. Patriots -3. 49ers first quarter and first half. And I've had enough of me here talking about, oh, Shanahan's 15 scripted plays are spectacular, excellent. He's probably the best in the business at. Well, all right, let's just put some money where my fucking mouth is, and I'm going to start betting it. I'm going to start betting it. If it keep cashes, and I'm going to keep betting it. So that's that. Eagles first half, Eagles full game. I've been talking with some cappers. I think the dogs are going to be barking in the AFC. I don't think they're going to be barking in the NFC. I think the class of the NFC is going to take care of business, and that's already, we've seen a small snippet of that with the Packers rolling here. Circa Millions, we're on the Niners -6.5. That was our fifth pick. The fourth pick was Lions +3.5. That makes me just ludicrously nervous. Chiefs -7 makes me so nervous. Eagles -5 has me pumped up, and Vikings -7.5 makes me extremely nervous. But look, our Circa Millions ticket is 13-7, so we will just trust it. Okay, you guys, I'd also love to hear what your action is. We're going to be listening to your action, talking about your action as we go on. Of my 7 bets that I've made so far, I'm very interested in the Rams first half and rolling with LJ on the Cleveland Browns. There's King Combs ready to get to work. Sky Dragon moved on New England futures. I respect that. And let's get to work. Big shout out to my producer, Jose Bouquet, who's putting out the MLB videos as soon as the games end, and he's ready to rock for me every morning with and this is a tricky, tough one with lots of graphics and lots of hard work. So shout out to you, Jose. Thank you for all your hard work. Let's get rolling. Bring on your first guest, currently ranked 8th out of 16 cappers who've been on our NFL Pub Hub, and it was tough luck with the Judy props. Judy got hurt. That was week 2 that he joined us. He's back here for week 5, coming to us from Belleville, Ontario. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Gogster in the house. Gogster, what's happening, my man?
What's going on, guys? Well, thanks for having me on, Jim. It's been a while. Glad to be back. Let's rock and roll. Wearing the Denver hat, guys, just because, you got to support your team. But, yeah, bring the hate on, guys. It's well-deserved. Us Denver fans, we've been taking it right in the old drink hole, as you usually say, Jim. But we're here to cap some winners. I'm also on Green Bay with you, Jim. That's one of my contest plays. Like you said, we haven't cashed it yet, but I like what I'm seeing. Green Bay, after that, barely got by New England last week. I didn't see it happening again. So let's get to it. I got a lot of action here, guys. Let's cap some winners.
Let's get to it. Mr. Gogster, he is 2-2, but he's plus units because he is plus 130. Was that a 3-team teaser?
Yeah, I got a couple more teasers for you. Yeah, it was a 3-team money line teaser, and I had it on the and the teaser also hit. I had the money line and the teaser, so yeah, we're up plus money there.
Wow, Jose has a really interesting spot here. That Jose, come in on the second game and deliver that news to us, because that's the second game on Gogster's card. So we have very interesting news here from Gogster.
I won't even Google it. We won't even Google it.
No. Let's just let Jose give it to us. Very interesting. But Gogster gets started with a 6-point teaser. We're going to talk about the first half of a 6-point teaser and the second half of his 6-point teaser. So the first half is the Houston Texans at Jacksonville Jaguars. And I'm happy he's talking about that game, not just because Jacksonville Zoe will be there live, but because he's the only one talking about this game on the entire show. Thank you guys so much for joining us. NFL Pub Hub, Pub Sports Radio. We're back where we belong. And it's going to be a real wonderful Sunday here because I get to host the late night game as well. Houston Texans 0-3-1, 0-2 on the road to the Jaguars. 83 Fahrenheit, sunny, 9 miles per hour. It is absolutely beautiful. We have 106,664 tickets that we can discuss here, but let's start with the line history. This line history over at Pinnacle opened up with Jacksonville minus 7.5 at plus 111. They're now minus 7. They moved to minus 7 this morning over at Pinnacle at 8:45 in the morning. That minus 7 is minus 101 for Jacksonville. And I get it. I can understand thinking, is Jacksonville worthy of being a touchdown favorite at this point? But if you don't believe in what you saw in that very difficult game in the rain in Philadelphia, maybe they are. The store opened up at 44 minus 106. It's now 44 at minus 109. Lamont Williams in the house. Great to see you, Lamont. I'll try and find your best bet because I definitely want to see him. LJ from Ouchtown is on Jaguars minus 7 and Trevor Lawrence 2+ TDs. Gerald Jones has Jacksonville bounce back minus 7 on the card, and B-Lab's got Jags in his survivor. Wow, that's ballsy, B-Lab. Let's first go over the cash flow here. As I said, the 106,664 tickets in, and like every week this year, the Sharps are on the Texans. 31% of the tickets, 45% of the cash. Watched it move from 7.5 to 7. Now, if you were to say at 7, you believe the Sharps are on the Jags, but that's valid. But clearly at 7.5, Sharps were on the Houston Texans. 45% of tickets, 76% of cash on the under. It's only moved 3 cents. Texans have Blake Cashman concussed, their linebacker. Offensive tackle Austin Deculus, ankle. Tight end Brevin Jordan, ankle. Chris Moore, hip out. And then, these guys are questionable, I believe. It's Greener, Jonathan Greener. That's the big piece of the puzzle of whether he's going to play or not, the defensive end. And then for the Jags, Zay Jones, Cole Van Lanen, Taylor Von Chason are all questionable, and Fatukasi, their defensive lineman, out. Take it away, Ghost. Their first game on the card, Texans Jags, half of your 6-point teaser.
All right, let's do this. Great intro there, Jimmy, by the way, breaking the game down. One thing about the Jags, guys, 5th in points allowed per game at 16. What I'm really liking is with the defensively, like you said, Jimmy, despite that game in the rain where they allowed 29, I believe it was, to the Eagles last week, they've been lights out, 24-0 against Indy. That's been their one home game. This is only their second home game going into week 5, guys, and they got a much easier opponent in Houston. These guys, in my opinion, are they're challenged offensively, but defensively they're not too bad. They got a couple guys on the line that I'm seeing that could be out. Like you said, Jonathan Greenard, a lot better at pronouncing the hockey names than I am the football, but Blake Cashman. They got some guys on the defensive side of the ball out, but I think Jacksonville can hold this Texans team, guys, to under their team total 16.5. I think they can hold them to the under 16.5. And Jags guys on the teaser. I don't see any reason why there's not a bounce back here. They're coached really well with the coach from Philadelphia there down in Jacksonville now. I'm all over the Jags here. I like seeing Jacksonville Zoe is going to be at this game. Shout out to LJ in Houston too. I'd like to see what he's on, this being his Houston team. But I also lean to the under, Jimmy. Like I said, I think Jacksonville is going to be able to hold this team. Houston's, I could see it 24-13, 27-14. I really don't see Houston doing much here, guys. Against Denver, they had 9 points, 16-9. Their other loss was against Chicago. Was a one-score loss, but again, it's Chicago. You're going up against Jacksonville off a loss, tied Indy, and then lost against the LA Chargers by 10. I think this is a spot, Jimmy, where Houston loses 2 touchdowns, double digits. I'm taking the teaser, though, just to kind of be safe, as our guy Pete Loshak says, taking it down to -1, and I'm taking that total. I got it at 43.5, so I got under 49.5, guys, and -1 on the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's available at -120. Just a 2-team teaser there. I really like the Jags to bounce back, and the way their defense is and how they shut out Indy. Now, Indy's not any better than, as you guys saw Thursday night, than Chicago and Denver, but I just even with Zane Jones too, I think Zane Jones does play this game, so that's also another boost for the Jaguars. So give me the Jags here, guys, and a little teaser for you at -120, Jim.
You got it. Jags -1, under 49.5 at -120. Now we have another 6-point teaser for you. LA Chargers, Cleveland Browns, and the weather is now an issue, a surprise issue. 58 Fahrenheit, sunny, 15 miles per hour. Let's hear from our Jose Bouquet with the latest information.
Yeah, so hello, Gogster. It's nice to see you. And
Jose.
hello to the NFL watchers. I'd like to remind everyone that Game 3 of the Wild Card Series is tonight. Baseball does not die. And watch Hey plays, as always. But it seems as if we've gone around the cycle. The midges are back in Cleveland. If you remember, Jabba Chamberlain, his fat ass on that mound with the Yankees on the Guardians, there's going to be a shitload of bugs on the field today, I should say. Reporters are already tweeting about it. There's a lot of bugs. That will probably affect everyone because, hand up, I don't want to run and have just a bunch of fucking bugs on my windshield wiper visor and have some on my mouth too. So midges running wild in Cleveland tonight.
Wild. Who do you think would be the easiest for the team to handle it the best? You got to think it's the Browns. You got to think the Chargers will have no plan for the midges and the Browns will have a plan in place. I would think that this would help the Cleveland Browns here. Let's talk about it. Keenan Allen is out with the hamstring. Dustin Hopkins right quad and Josh Palmer ankle questionable. Browns have defensive tackle Taven Bryan hamstring, Jadeveon Clowney ankle questionable, but Myles Garrett is in. Midges causing a problem, and how can we take advantage of that? I'd love to hear anybody in the chat who thinks that could give one of these teams an edge. Clearly, the move has gone to the Browns. It's been happening for a few days now. Browns open up +2.5 and now just +1. Makes me feel like I've kind of missed the boat here. This total's gone from 48.5 down to 47. And when we take a look at the cash flow in this one, 125,000 tickets in, and the sharps are on the Browns. Market's moving towards the Browns. Everything is saying Browns for me here. 55% of the tickets, 74% of the cash, and I have not moved on this game. 51% of the tickets and 61% of the cash on the over. I wonder if that changes now with this midges outbreak. There's our guy, Nasty Nate, in the house. Take it away for us, Gogster. What's your plan?
Well, you maybe got to get the squeegees out for the visors. Maybe, just a squeegee over the visor. They're non-biting, right, Jimmy? I believe they're non-biting. So as a golfer, Jim, I don't want to throw too much golf in here, but it's not too, as long as they're not biting, it can't be too bad. You know what I mean? It's a little annoying, but for Cleveland, I don't think that's much of a big deal. You're going to use Hunt and Chubb here. Just bounce back both of them. As long as Brissett doesn't do too much, I think this team should be fine. Now the LA Chargers, guys, they've allowed the third most points allowed per game at 27. So I think Cleveland gets theirs, 24 points. And to be honest, you don't have Keenan Allen, but I do think the Chargers still can score. I really like Eckler here, guys. I actually have a player prop here as well. Might as well throw that in right now, Jimmy. Austin Eckler, guys, over rushing and receiving yards, 96.5. That's minus 120. He's had 72 combined against Las Vegas, 94 against Kansas City, 53 against Jacksonville, then 109 recently against Houston. And he's going up against a decent Cleveland defense, but without Keenan Allen there and a banged up, what's this guy's Palmer there. He's also questionable. That just leaves the Chargers here. Just going to bring up the Chargers real quick. Their receivers here, Mike Williams, and then you got Jason Moore. So they're really hurting when it comes to weapons. So I think you're going to see a lot of Eckler, Jimmy, over 96.5 combined. And also teasing this game. Now, I feel a little nervous teasing this to the over. But despite that, Jimmy, I'm getting it all the way down to 41 points. So, again, they get at least 24. I need, close to 20 from LA Chargers. I could see that happening. Atlanta just, they did what they wanted to. That was without Garrett. But I think we can see some points here, guys. I like it. Plus 8. Plus 8 on the Cleveland Browns. I really like that one. And then the over 41 for the total here, Jim. I think we can see some points, especially from the Browns. It's just going to be the Chargers. Can they keep up? And if Eckler's in the game, I think they can.
You got it. We are locked in. You have Eckler over 96.5 rushing receiving yards. Now, I guess you're hoping that Eckler gets hot.
Who else can they use? I just don't know who else they're going to use, really, Jim.
There's nothing. I don't dislike the look at all. I just don't like betting player props after a player has a monster week. That's just something that I would prefer trying to find a spot where you think it's undervalued rather than him coming off this spectacular performance. It just always makes me nervous with player props, but I get nervous around player props all the time. And then you have Browns plus 8 and the over 41. You are in business. We got to speed it up a little bit because you have 3 games left, Gogster. We head over to Minnesota. Bears, Vikings, US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Safety Dane Cruikshank doubtful, as is quarterback Jalen Johnson, and David Montgomery is questionable. The Vikes have been a really healthy group this year, and quarterback Andrew Booth, their main concern right now, is going to be in the lineup. Let's take a look at the line history for this one. This one moved from 7 to 7.5 right now. Money coming in on the Vikings. This total has gone from 44 to 40. At 43, excuse me. Is now at 44. And this is a spot where the Sharps are on the other side, but the market has moved towards the Vikings. So do whatever you want with that. 37% of tickets, 64% of the cash is on the Bears. And then 59% of the tickets, 95% of the cash is on the under, yet it's gone up a point. So very confusing market information from there. Take it away for us, Gogster.
I don't know how you take the Bears. This team is just, you got Fields. Sorry for any Bears fans in the chat, but this team's just offensively challenged. Minnesota too, Jimmy. I think they're just they have too much offense. Dalvin Cook, he's going to be another player prop I'm going to use here, guys. I have him over 77 yards rushing. He's had 146, 90, 17, 96, and 76. He's going up against a Bears defense that's they got some problems here. 80. They've allowed 3 of their last 4 games. Jimmy, they've allowed over 80 rushing yards. Dalvin Cook should just do what he wants. Then you got those 2 receivers. You got Thielen and you have Jefferson on the ends there. I think this might be one of the bigger blowouts you're going to see on this Sunday football, guys. I think Minnesota's just an easy one here. Not an easy one. Nothing's easy in the NFL. I should probably take that back right away. I got it on the contest play too, Jimmy, all over Minnesota. Don't want to go too much about this one. Just I think right now you got injuries too on the defensive side there on their, I believe their corners for For the Bears, you have Dane Cruikshank there. He's out, and also Jalen Johnson. So you have two of their corners out. Montgomery's questionable. I think this is going to be a real Vikings win here for our guy Clint. Shout out to Clint.
LJ's with you on the Cook Rush prop. This just makes me nervous after the community of new knowledge. Thank you so much for the dono, my man. Respect. Thanks, I hope you have a giant Sunday. Thank you, community of new knowledge in the house. The Vikings played against a Saints team missing Winston, Kamara, and Michael Thomas and just barely beat them, and now fly back here, when they could have had a bye. Nothing they've done has shown me that they can beat a team by margin. I don't want to back the Bears.
Defensively, though, I like the Saints defense is nothing to shame about. They got a good defense, the Saints, right? It's just going to come down to my opinion as the Vikings. They should do what they want. They should really do what they want. They're missing both their corners. You got Justin Fields as your quarterback. You're missing David Montgomery. They're going to be they're not going to be able to keep up with Minnesota here. I'm going to say final score 30-13 Minnesota here.
Well, let's line shop. I'll line shop for you on the Vikings. You didn't tweet out your action, did you?
No, I was going to do it after the show here. I want to get the live line.
I'll line shop for you here with the Vikings. We got to speed it up a bit. We have Bebsy on deck, ready to rock, coming off a winning week for him last week. Let's go. Tennessee Titans, Washington Commanders. We're at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. 60 Fahrenheit, sunny, 8 miles per hour. Let's take a look at the line history here in this one. The Commanders have gone from +2.5 to +1. This total has gone from 42 to 43. So there's been a 1.5 move on the Commanders. They've been given 25% line value from Sports Insights. Over 103,000 tickets in, 31% of tickets, 36% of the cash on Washington. Clearly, there's sharp money on Washington. I've lost on them 2 weeks in a row. I'm sure they win this week when I'm not on them. Take it away for us, Gogster.
Yeah, Washington's like the Cleveland Browns. All the sharps are always on them every week, and you just keep getting disappointed with this team. What do we got against the spread? They are 1-3 against the spread. This isn't a good football team. Carson Wentz at the helm. But with that being said, you got Tennessee, which, to be honest, they haven't done a lot for me, Jim. Injuries, going over the injuries here. Not too much from Tennessee I'm seeing.
No Burks. That's the only thing that's going to hurt them is Treylon Burks. I mean, look, Zach Cunningham and Bud Dupree are banged up and so important.
Thank you. That was it. And even they got a corner, a couple corners banged up, safety. I'm also seeing a guard. So I think Washington's live here. What I'm doing though, guys, I'm taking Samuel here. Make sure I don't butcher his name. It's Curtis Samuel, isn't it? Yeah, Curtis Samuel. He's been targeted a lot from Carson Wentz. He's been targeted 37 times compared to 27. That's McLaren. 26 of 37 for 219. He gets a lot of receptions, guys. I was going to take his over 44.5, which I think is low for receiving yards, but over 4.5 receptions at -110. That's what I'm going to give out here, Jimmy. I think he can get 5 catches here going up against a defense here. He's a good slot receiver, Samuel here, I think. So, and he got 2 of their linebackers banged up, especially in Bud Dupree. I think you're going to see some offense here. I do lean to the over as well here in this game. I don't think the defenses are, especially Washington, they've been awful on defense. So lean to the over, but I'm going to go with Samuel here, guys. Over 4.5 receptions, -110.
Yeah, no Dotson, no J.N. Dotson, so that will probably help Curtis Samuel's picks. Also, Logan Thomas was a late addition to the injury report, which doesn't help. So here we go. The final game on Gogster's card, Eagles Cardinals at State Farm. I'm on the Eagles first half and full game, double up. Andy Molitor on Tuesday gave the Eagles first half team total over 13.5. I think the Eagles continue to take care of business. Jake Elliott is out, so Cameron Dicker has been called up from the practice squad to handle the field goal duties. We'll see how that plays here. Also, you have Maddox out for the second straight week. That hurts. Mailata has been downgraded to out, so Jack Driscoll is going to start at left tackle. That's the situation there. This has gone from 5. Well, this opened at 5.5 at Pinnacle, although we got in at 5. It's still at 5.5 at -112.
How is this line not 6.5 or 7? I don't know how this line is not. higher with the banged up Arizona team. Philly's done nothing wrong. I'm on Philly, Jim, but
yeah, I'm on. Well, why don't you take it away here? Let me just give you a quick idea of where the cash is. The Sharps have been on the Eagles all week, but you're right. I mean, but that's still a pretty big road favorite here, so I can understand why it hasn't moved too much. But we have 59% of the tickets, 83% of the cash on Philadelphia, and we have 31% of the tickets, 59% of cash on the under. Take it away for us.
Gas report says the trap. I hope this. Right away, I'm getting back in my head. I'm getting a little cold feet, but I still think I don't know how Philly loses this game. To be honest, the injuries on the O-line, I think are going to be a problem here, especially with the line from Philadelphia. Kyler Murray's going to have to run for his life here, guys. In my opinion, I think he's not going to have enough time to see, especially he's only like 5'9" back there. It doesn't help. So over 23.5 rushing yards, guys, for Kyler Murray, quarterback here. And I also like Philadelphia -5. It's in my contest plays as well. I don't see how they don't win this game, but again, the line's a little low. Hopefully it's not the trap of the week, but I'm all over Philadelphia here, Jimmy. I think they get it done. A nice 24-10, 24-14 win.
Well, we got you the 5.5 at +101. So let's give you that for Gogster. Eagles -5.5 at +101. Gogster, spectacular work. And for the Vikings, at this point, you're going to have to pay for a 7. There is an 8 now at some of these.
What's the 7 at, Jim? Quick?
-109.
Oh, I'll take that. Yeah.
Oh, the 7.5. Sorry.
Oh, 7.5. Yeah, that's what I expected. Yeah.
Sorry. If you want quickly, we'll line shop for you for this 7 just to see what it would cost. I'm sure others are interested in this.
After -120, I'll take it.
Okay, well, let's just go there quickly right now. Here we go. Moving the 7 here is going to cost -127.
No, I'll take the 7. I'll take the 7.5. I think this is gonna be the blowout of the week here, Minnesota over Chicago. So, let's rock with that one, guys. Yeah, Jimmy, thank you so much for having me on. I know we got another guest. We got to be quick here, guys. Follow me, Eagle47_. We got hockey coming up. I got golf. I tweet it all the time. Korean baseball is coming in the playoffs too, Jimmy. So I'll have some Korean baseball for you guys too. Late night degenerate action shit. So be good, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Pub Sports Radio. Subscribe. All that good stuff, guys. We'll see you coming up here in the hockey season, Jimmy. Be good.
There is Mr. Gogster in the house to review. He's on a Jags -1, under 49.5, 6-point teaser. He's on a Browns +8, over 41, 6-point teaser. He's on Eckler over 96.5 rushing and receiving yards. Dalvin Cook over 77.5 rush yards. And the Vikings -7.5, -109. Curtis Samuel over 4.5 receptions. And he is on Kyler Murray over 22.5 rush yards, and the Eagles -5.5 at +101. Big shout out to our guy, DJ. Thank you for the dono. Says, love the show. Let's have a day, boys. Respect to you, my man. And thank you for your support. Let's bring on guest number 2. Guest number 2 here. Our co-host last year, who has just got he's wanted all over the world as a top stand-up comic in our country, and too busy, but can make our Sunday morning sometimes, which makes me so happy. He's currently ranked 5th out of 16 cappers here on our NFL Pub Hub. He opened up his account last week, going 3-2 plus 0.94 units. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Rob Bebenek in the house. Bebsy, how are you?
Back. Jimmy, I appreciate you introducing me as wanted all over the world in our country.
I said it, but the greatest in our country. Right? There was
yeah, we're gonna have to go back to the tape on that one. Jose, I got job for you.
Okay.
Anyways,
cut it up. I believe I did say it right.
Cut it up. Well, okay, I could be wrong. I'm coming off of COVID. I had COVID this week, so maybe my brain's still a little foggy.
Oh,
but I did want to. I was watching the chat, and I did want to. Christopher Comatini made a great point about Washington's D line. Their run defense is actually good. That's why I stayed off the Henry prop. But I just wanted to shout him out because he's fucking bang on about that. That team sucks, but their run D is solid.
Bebsy, I dealt with COVID a couple weeks ago and was just cashing non-fucking stop. It was just magic for me. So hopefully that works for you as well. Let's get you started. Chargers, Browns, First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. We have Andy on the over 47, Dennis Garcia on the under 49.5. We have a 6-point teaser for Gogster with the Browns +8 and the over 41. Austin Eckler over 96.5 rushing receiving yards. And the big news out of Cleveland is there is a midge outbreak, giant midge outbreak. So that will affect some of these players. Take it away, though, for us, Bebsy.
Wait, what? Sorry.
The midge outbreak, like in that playoff series between the Yankees and the Guardians with Joba Chamberlain, those little tiny bugs, there's a massive outbreak.
Oh, midge fly outbreak.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how much are we worried the midge flies are going to affect the game? Is that?
Well, they could affect the Chargers who aren't used to them. Possibly.
What? I mean, we're taking this weather shit to a midge fly. No, I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm not. I can't do that. I can't care about the midge flies. Wear a visor. Put visors on all the players' helmets. We're not gonna worry about midge flies today. That's not going to be a thing. And anyways, I'm on the first half. Our midge flies daytime, maybe dusk. I'm worrying about them, but not daytime. This is a case of one team being better than the other. Although the Chargers are a little more banged up, Cleveland is. Listen, it's the Browns. They're going to Browns this first half at least. I'm worried about them as the game goes on because of the effectiveness of what Chubb can do to a team, wear down that defense. And listen, I don't trust the Chargers over a full game, but I think first half they can come away with at least a 1-point lead. Therefore, I went Chargers first half -0.5.
Chargers first half. The line has been quickly moving towards these Browns, so you don't have to go -1 anymore. You can have it -0.5 right now or money line. Let's just take a look at the options very quickly that you have, because there are plenty right now as the market, as I said, moving towards the Browns. So you can have a pick 'em at -111. That's how much it's moved. You want the pick 'em at so money line -111 on the Chargers?
Yeah, I'm for it.
There you go. Bebenek is locked in. He's on the Chargers first half -111. And Bebsy, we roll. Bebsy, no fear of the midges whatsoever.
No, don't fear midges.
No fear. No
Jimmy,
fear.
you've played outdoor sports in Canada.
Yes.
You've played through midge flies before.
You know, we don't have midge flies in Vancouver out in the Pacific. We don't have those issues.
But you've never experienced them here in Ontario?
No, I have. I've jogged through them. I don't like them.
Listen, the odd one gets in your eye. They fly up your nose and your ears. They're annoying, but they're not going to fuck up the football game.
Right. Okay. I'm looking forward to watch it. I
can't wait.
I hope they call the game. I hope they call it 10 minutes in.
I hope so too.
Dolphins Jets is the next spot for Bebsy. MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. 58 Fahrenheit, sunny, 10 miles per hour. A lot of question marks around Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Hill with the quad, Waddle with the groin. Are they going to be good to go? Xavier Howard with a groin issue as well. All questionable. And then the Jets have Max Mitchell with the knee injury. And God, they've gone so deep into their offensive line already this year. So to also lose Max Mitchell, who wasn't even supposed to be depended on this year, is tough for these Jets. Let's take a look at the line history here and move from there in this Jets-Dolphins spot. We move to full game. We have the Jets opening up at +2.5. They're now +3.5. That's a big move. And this total's gone from 45 to 46. When we take a look at the cash flow in this one, we have these Jets sitting there. So full line value on two teams, according to Sports Insights. Those are the Dolphins and the Falcons. We have 58% of the tickets on the Dolphins and 74% of the cash, and they moved it over that important 3-point threshold. And then from a total perspective, 52% of the tickets on the over, 77% of the cash on that over. Take it away for us, Bebsy, your second game on the board.
Listen, I think this ends up being a closer game than people would expect prior to the season. Listen, Miami's rolling. But this is a divisional game against a Jets team that's got a little bit of pride. They're starting to rally behind Robert Saleh. They've got the league's new shutdown corner in Sauce Gardner. I love that kid. But I just think this is going to be two offenses struggling today. You mentioned the injuries to Hill and Waddle. Of course, Tua being out, I don't know if that's that big of a deal considering it's not a huge drop. But because I've always been a Teddy Bridgewater fan, but I just don't see a ton of points here. And I see it very hard for them to get that total. I got it 45.5. You're saying there's a 46 out there. I like this game to stay tight. I like this game to go under this. I think comfortably. I don't think this game I'm going to be worried about in the fourth quarter being like, don't score any more points. I think this is going to be a low scoring affair in New York.
Well, let's get you that under here. Dolphins, Jets. Oh, that's first half. Excuse me. Sorry, move to full game here for Bebsy. The Titans, Jets, we have under 46 at even. Oh, no, there's a 46.5 on the board now. So it's moving towards the over. Under 46.5 at minus 110 or under 46 at plus 100, Bebsy?
I'll take the plus on this one.
Under 46 at plus 100. No VIG for Bebsy. We move on to San Francisco 49ers at Carolina Panthers. We've been talking for too long about the Shanahan first 15 scripted plays. I'm going to start moving on it until it loses. Niners first quarter -1 at plus 100. Niners first half -3.5 at minus 110 here. We've talked about Kinlaw and Armstead not at 100%, and this defense completely dominating still, which is so impressive without these two guys dealing with injuries. Trent Williams out as well. Going up against this Panthers squad, already without Jeremy Chin. So they're in trouble. And if they don't have Woods in the lineup, Xavier Woods is questionable at this point. If they don't have him in the lineup, that'll hurt badly. Also, Frankie Louvu dealing with a shoulder injury. So you're going to see Sean Chandler and Miles Hartfield. I mean, that Hartfield, that's going to hurt them. Also, Chenault didn't practice all week. Take it away for us. Oh, I didn't. Sorry, Bebsy. The line history in this one. Let's move over there. I had interest in the under, and then it just started going up and away. 6 -107 for the Niners. Now 6 -110. And this total at 40, it got all the way down to 38 and has come back up now to 40. Take it away for us, Bebsy.
Well, you mentioned it off the top with the Shanahan scripted plays. This isn't new with them. It's years of this team being able to jump out to an early lead, and can they hold on to it? Shanahan gets very conservative in the second half. He allows teams, or the Niners allow teams, to hang around, and then it becomes a nail biter at the end when oftentimes it should be a blowout. Look, this Carolina Panthers team is not very good. Their defense is solid, which is going to, of course, give Jimmy G fits because he's not very good at football. And listen, I just think they can jump out to an early lead. That defense is going to continue to play lights out. They've been incredible. They've been the number one defense in the league so far, but without question, top three. So I like them to jump out to an early lead. I think they're going to have a 10-point lead at the half. But fortunately for me, what did I get here? First half 3.5 is what I grabbed. I don't know if there's something better out there. But I really like this first half play on the Niners. And I might just keep running with this for a while. First half cover for them every time until I'm proven wrong. And the other thing, it cashed last week, so this is just another fun one. But Jimmy G rush over 1.5 yards. He did it last week. Over 2.5, he got a 3-yard scramble. Listen, again, I mentioned this Carolina defense is solid. The Niners O-line is suspect, so I can see him scrambling for 2, 4, maybe even 7 yards. I can cash this comfortably.
You got it. You got it. Hopefully the kneeling doesn't hurt you. It didn't hurt you last week, but we were very concerned.
I was freaking out.
Niners first half, you can get it at -3 at -117. Do you want to keep that so that the winning by field goal is a push?
Yeah, I like that a lot better, but again, I'm pretty confident on I think they're going to be well out in front, but let's not tempt fate here.
-3 at -117 available right now, and Garoppolo over 1.5 rush yards. What was the juice with that Jimmy G prop?
I believe 120.
120. Okay. All right. Let's roll on for Bebsy. We got to speed up. We got Big Ragoo waiting in the wings. For Eagles, Cardinals, we already talked about the injury situation. We talked about Andy being on the Eagles first half team total over. I'm on the Eagles first half and full game. We have our guy Gogster on the Eagles as well as a Kyler Murray rush over prop. How are you betting this one, Bebsy?
Listen, I'm taking the Eagles full game here. What's up, Jordy? Good to see you, buddy. Listen, this is just the Eagles defense has been fantastic so far this year. Arizona, I was screaming from the rooftops last year about how overrated that Arizona team was when they were out to 7-0. I was like, this team isn't for real. I don't believe in Kingsbury. I don't care what this team does. They don't get any better. All the shit in the offseason with Kyler Murray, not like the fact that you had to work in study time into this kid's playbook tells me he's a phenomenal talent, because you don't get to this level of the NFL without one or the other. He obviously doesn't work very hard. But this Eagles team is rolling. This Arizona team just is not very good. I don't trust them to put up points against this Philly defense. Yes, the injuries do concern me on the Eagles O-line, but again, the Eagles are rolling here. The Arizona Cardinals just aren't that good.
You are locked in, and we are all together on the Eagles. Let's move on to the final game on Bebsy's board. It is also our Sunday nighter, and we have a few cappers talking about it. I'm very excited. Cincinnati Bengals, Baltimore Ravens, M&T Bank Stadium, Baltimore, Maryland, 60 Fahrenheit, sunny, 8 miles per hour. We have Rashad Bateman out, Justice Hill out, Justin Houston out, and guard Ben Cleveland out. Marcus Peters and Ronnie Stanley questionable right now. That's the situation. We'll take a quick look at the line history, because the interesting thing here, we know the Sharps are on the Ravens, and it keeps going back and forth from 3.5 to 3. It feels like whenever there's a 3.5 on the board, the Bengals get bet. Whenever there's a 3 on the board, the Ravens get bet. But there has been a move towards the Bengals, even at this 3 number, over the last couple hours. So it's at 3 at -109 right now. From a totals perspective, it's gone from 48 to 47.5. And Don Max has all the money on the under in this one, but it really feels like points. Let's take a look at this cash flow for the under. 34% of tickets, 81% of the cash on the under. And then 44% of tickets, 69% of the cash on the Ravens. Ravens have the sharp money, but market moving towards the Bengals. Take it away, Bebsy.
Well, listen, I think anytime you got a divisional game with close points, you kind of want to stay away. Both these teams, I feel like, are in a similar range. I just couldn't bet on that. I couldn't find one way or the other to go. I personally think the over is in play here, but the play I really liked is J.K. Dobbins rush props. Listen, he had that horrific injury in the preseason last year. He's just ramping up. These last 2 weeks, you kind of see the team trusting him a little more and him getting his groove back a little bit. Plus, it can't always be Lamar running the ball. Like we know that. Listen, he does an excellent job of getting down or avoiding big hits, but you do want to minimize that because they're in trouble without him. But J.K. Dobbins this guy is primed to take off, and I'm going to hit his rush props until the books catch up, because quite frankly, this kid can ball. I think he's going to get more and more touches as the season goes on, and I'm going to grab that cash while I can here.
You got it. Dobbins over 50.5 rush yards. What was the juice associated? Was that -110?
-110, yeah.
You got it. Bebsy coming off a winning week. He opened his account last week going 3-2, sitting in 5th out of 16 cappers. Let's review Bebsy's action. Chargers first half money line -111. Then the under 46 at +100 in Dolphins Jets. Then he's on the Niners first half, got a better number than me, got in on the 3 at -117, and the Jimmy G over 1.5 rush yards, and the Eagles -5.5 at +101, and Dobbins over 50.5 rush yards. We miss you, Bebsy. Been great having you back to back. Stay hot. I know you're cashing thus far this year. Stay hot, my man.
Good to be back, buddy. Just a quick correction, that line on Jimmy G's rush yards was -105, not -120.
Oh, cool. That is important. Very important. a big difference. Okay, minus 105 right there.
Holy shit, Bo Jackson's in the chat.
He is. He's worried about the midges, though, Bebsy. He's worried about the midges. I'm also concerned about the midges. I'm going to be giving you midge updates throughout the day here and throughout the weekend. I'll add for Thanksgiving midge updates tomorrow for you, Bebsy. Bebsy, thank you for joining us. Follow Bebsy on Twitter at Rob_Bebenek. Go get that cash, Rob. There he is right there. Rob Bebenek in the house. Old school cowboy goodbye. Let's move on to your next guest. Our next guest was last year's champion in our NFL pub, and he's gotten out of the gates kind of tough. Not bad, though. 1 and 2 down 1.16 units in week 1. 2 and 3 down 1.47 units in week 2. So he's not sitting where he wants to be, but we know how he gets hot, and that's why we will keep bringing him back. Right now, 3 and 5 down 2.63 units. But, man, last year's champion, going to get hot. We know he's going to get hot. Please welcome to the show from Ocala, Florida, horse country, the big Ragoo.
What's up, fellas? I got my mentor, my handicap mentor on today. The handicap school of Mickey Mouse, baby. He's going to bring me home today. Let's get it done.
Let's get it happening, guys. We've missed you, Ragoo, and so glad that you were able to really, really help the communities over in Central Florida after Hurricane Ian.
It's been a challenge, but things. There's always light at the end of the tunnel, so we keep pushing forward, brother. Just like the handicapping, life's a grind. We keep grinding away.
We love you, and we're thankful to cap with you. Ragoo, let's get right to work. Ragoo starts the card with the game we have not spoken about yet. Atlanta Falcons at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Raymond James Stadium, Tampa, Florida. 83 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 10 miles per hour. The big news out of Falcons camp, we know there's no Cordero Patterson. Now there's no Kyle Pitts. So there's the top 2 playmakers on offense out of the lineup. So Drake London, Olamide Zacchaeus also going to get a ton of looks here. Let's take a look at the line history in this one. A big move with the announcement of Pitts. We now see the Buccaneers at minus 10.5. Now that's at plus money, so it's mostly 10s. From a total perspective, it's gone from 48 down to 46. And sharps were on the Falcons, and Sports Insight's given them full line value. And they still sort of are. 32% of tickets, 49% of the cash on the Falcons. I shouldn't say sort of, they are. 63% of tickets, 84% of cash on the under. A lot of moving parts to this game, and we have their 3rd straight home game for the Buccaneers, even though last week was tough going back and forth from Miami to practice. Take it away for us, Ragoo. Falcons, Bucks.
Yeah, I lost with the Bucks last week on the total perspective because you know what I like to do with Tampa Bay. Tampa usually starts out a little slow at home. They run it through their defense. They run scripted plays. I know what they do. Last week, with the preparation, their defense was hurt immensely because, KC hung 21 fast points on them, and that had to force them to play a little bit of a catch-up. But the game was gone before it was over, before it started, more or less, on that game. And my look on that game was the first half under. But I think today, they bounced back in that same role. But I think it's going to be good. Everything's kind of showing up for Tampa to play the under, especially in the first half, with Pitts and Cordell Patterson out. Tampa's been averaging around 8 points a half, and Atlanta's been averaging right around 10. And with the missing pieces and the refocusing and Tampa's style of play at home, I love this first half under 23.5.
Yeah, that's a very, very interesting look. I totally understand why you like that. Let's move over in line shop for that first half under over in Tampa. We can get 23. Some books have moved. Only a couple have moved it to 23. Only a couple, but we can easily get you 23.5 at minus 110. Let's lock that in for Ragoo. Getting his card started with the first half under 23.5 at minus 110. I find that very interesting. I'll put some asterisks beside it. Let's move on to the next spot for you, Ragoo. Detroit Lions at New England Patriots. We're at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. 59 Fahrenheit, sunny, 11 miles per hour. I'm on the Patriots at minus 3, as I think you guys know from our Tuesday show. And I'm confident, although there's been a lot of money coming in on the Detroit Lions, they've now moved So the Patriots right now -3 is an even money situation, which makes
like
me
that.
nervous. This total opened up at 45.5 and has moved to 46. When we go over to the cash flow in this spot, 127,000 tickets in, 44% of the tickets, 64% of the cash on Zappy and the Patriots. I don't think that it's that injury. I mean, I think we all expected it to be Zappy out there. 34% of the tickets, 54% of the cash on the under. The Lions have a ton of injuries, a ton. And I mean, huge playmakers out of the lineup, wide receivers, Cephas, Shark out of the lineup, DeAndre Swift out. And then we have Amon-Ra St. Brown, ankle questionable. I don't know if anybody has the latest information on him. And as always, this Patriots team has a ton of questionable players that will likely play. Lawrence Guy, though, DeMarcus Mitchell are going to be out, as will Mac Jones and most likely Jonnu Smith. Take it away for us, Ragoo, Lions, Patriots.
Yeah, we know that New England got off to a real ugly start. The first week they hung a 7, and the next week they hung 17 against Miami the first week, and Pittsburgh the second week. But then they played Pittsburgh. I mean, they played Baltimore and Green Bay in consecutive games where they put 26 and 24 up. So to win in the NFL, you got to score at least 20 points. I mean, that's the magic number. If you can't score more than 20 points, you're not going to win in the NFL. So with all the controversy about Judge and Patricia running the offense and all this stuff, I think it was a slow burn for these guys, more or less, to kind of get up to speed. Then we get the injury to Jones, and Zappy gets his entry in last week. So I think he's going to fit in that offense pretty well. They're not going to let him, do things that he probably won't be able to handle. I think he's capable of doing it. The rookies in the NFL, they always shit upon themselves pretty early and often. But I think this spot here, with Detroit, that's given up 38 points, 27 points, 28 points, 48 points, the injuries, all of the above, with the injuries and the defensive woes that they have. I think this is a game that Zappy can manage and put points up. And I think the Pats are going to be moving in the right direction. And I'm with you. I like the -3 spot here, and I also love the team total over 24 points. I think they put up 30. Between 27 and 31 points today. So I'm on the team total over 24 and New England -3.
I almost like your team total over better than the bet that I've made looking back at the situation. I
was thinking about not laying the 3, but I said, you know what? I think this is a game that they could win, go in there. Worst case scenario, maybe get a push, but I like the team total over 24. That was my first play. Then I added the -3.
Why do you think there's been the market move towards the Lions late?
I don't know. Maybe are they bringing back Brown today to play?
You're probably right. That must be someone knows that Brown's going to be able to play. Oh yeah, that's got to be
the only thing I could think of.
That's got to be it. Okay, we have the Patriots -3 right now, -3 and -102, and we're going to get you that team total. I've got a 24.5 here. I think you want that 24. I'm the 24.5 at plus money, so I know I can find a 24 out there. Yeah. Patriots team total over 24. So I'm going to line shop and look for that. Let's roll on. You have 2 more games, and then we have Brizzy ready to rock. So let's we got to move a little bit brisk here. Yeah, you are also breaking down the San Francisco 49er Carolina Panthers game and moving on it. We've talked about the injuries. Yeah, Bebsy and I both on the 49ers first half. I'm also on the 49ers first quarter. How are you betting this, Ragoo?
So Carolina's all their spreads have been 1 to 2 points the whole season so far, and 3 of them, 3 of the 4 have all they were favored. They all came up with an L. So now they get back in the dog roll here, and you got San Fran that's rolling into town, which I think they've been playing to a lot of under San Francisco, and I think this is a great under spot again. I know sharper money has been flying in on the under 40. And it's under 39 and it's ticked up to 40. I think this is a little head fake move here from Vegas. So I think the sharper money still is on the under. Like you said, it started out 38. Heard you earlier, came back to 40. This game's got under written all over it. And I think San Fran keeps it under with the troubles that Carolina is going to have. Real easy cap for me under San Francisco, under the 40.
Under 40 for Ragoo at -108. Under 40 at -108 for the big Ragoo. Topset's got his action in. We're going to go over that as well. And there is razor sharp picks in the house as well. I'm so happy you're talking about this game. We have a few other cappers, but we haven't talked about it yet. And a lot of people want to talk about it. Let's talk about it right now. Dallas Cowboys and Los Angeles Rams, SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. We have Jason Peters, questionable. Tony Pollard dealing with an illness. CeeDee Lamb dealing with a groin injury, but he's good to go. He'll be in the lineup. For the Rams, you have Brian Allen sitting here as out. And I was kind of I thought that he might be able to come back, but that's not happening. Jordan Fuller, also their safety, out. David Long and Taylor Rapp, questionable. Let's take a quick look at the line history, and then we move on to our next guest. We have the big Ragoo joining us right now for Cowboys Rams. We have, pull up this, here we go. This total is dropped fast, but the Rams are taking money. They open up at -4. They're now -5.5. I've come so close to backing them on the first half, but I haven't. And this total is down to 42. It opened at 44 at Pinnacle. Some offshores had it at 46 to open. Take it away for us, Ragoo, Cowboys, Rams.
Hey, the Cowboys are riding a 3-game winning streak. No one has yet to score over 20 points on them. 10 against the Cowboys. The Rams have scored 10, 31, 20, and 9. So one spot where they kind of got over the key number there, the 20. The Rams injuries, they're going to be magnified a little bit, especially with Allen and then Sheldon's out too, I believe, the guard, correct? So anyways, and the defensive backs, you got some secondary key pieces missing in the secondary. So Cowboys have been quietly good. They've been good with the number. They've been good, in the win column. Not the best team in the East, but I think they do enough here. 5s are tricky in the NFL. Every time I see a 5, I cringe when I want to lay on a favorite. But I think the way Dallas is playing and the Rams' offensive woes, they haven't been putting up the numbers, Super Bowl jinx, whatever you want to call it. I think this is a play-on spot for Dallas, getting the 5.5. I like the boys here taking the 5.5 points. And playing at SoFi is not a big advantage for the Rams. It never is for either team, the Chargers or the Rams. So give me the boys. They travel well. Defense travels well. Taking the Cowboys.
That +5.5, we can get you at -108 for the Cowboys. Let's lock that in for the big Ragoo, and let's go over all of his.
One more thing, Jimmy.
Yeah,
I got to throw it in because every time I'm on the show, I'm on a 2-team teaser, which I always surprise you with. I'm taking the Vikings -1.5 and the Jets plus. I guess it's 9 now. It was 9.5, but I'll take the Jets +9.
All right.
+20.
So sorry, can you hit me with that again?
Yeah, Minnesota -1.5.
Vikings -1.5. Okay.
And the Jets +9 points.
Jets +9. And what juice is that for the teaser?
+120.
+120. All right, locked in there for Ragoo with the Cowboys. All right, so the teaser is in Vikings -1.5, Jets +9. He's also on the Cowboys +5.5 at -108. Then Ragoo is on the under 40 at -108 in the Niners-Panthers spot. A very interesting take there. Team total over 24 for the Pats, and he's on the Pats -3 at -102. And then he's on the first half under 23.5 in Atlanta Falcons, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There you have it. Last year's champion, Big Ragoo, rolling with us, and we expect him to heat up immediately. Love you, Ragoo. Thank you so much for rolling up with us. Follow him on Twitter at Big Ragoo62. Any last words, my man?
Let's cash some tickets, guys. See you next week.
There he is, our guy, the Big Ragoo in the house. All right, we move from the Big Ragoo to a man who's carried on exactly where he left off last year. Wow. And he's coming to us from the Mohegan Sun Casino. He's 6-1 plus 5.96 units. Week 2, he goes 3-0 plus 3.5 units. Week 4, 3-1 plus 2.46 units. So we had to have him back immediately. Please welcome to the show, direct from the Mohegan Sun, Billy Brisbane in the house. Brizzy, what up?
What up? How's the connection sound? Good enough? We good?
Not our best, but we need to hear you're good.
Right.
So, all
right, we'll get through.
We
it
might
quick then,
actually.
Jim.
Okay, okay, my man. Are you? So you're in a vehicle right now. You're on your way to Mohegan.
On the way right now, going back for the morning, 1 o'clock slate, trying to get these games in.
Do you want to hit us up? We can move on. Our next guest is ready to rock. Do you want to see if we can get you into the casino with a better connection?
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that. We want to see if we can get a better connection. So we're gonna try and get you on around when Bobano's on. So we will keep that going. But that is Brizzy going to be rolling with us soon, getting on his way to the Mohegan Sun to get that. Oh shoot, I didn't mean to highlight this fucking bot. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, so let's move on to your next guest. What a season debut he had for us. A thing of absolute beauty. Swept the board, went against me on a couple spots. That gave him confidence, and it worked. 6-0, currently ranked second out of 16 cappers on our show after just 1 week. And we had to bring him back direct from I want to say San Jose, but San Jose sucks. He's in a much better community than downtown San Jose. But coming to us from Costa Rica, please welcome to the show, Flash in the house. Flash, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, James. Very, very excited for week 5 after the way that week 4 went. I've done a couple of teasers early on. First of all, how are you? You feeling better?
I am. The family's better. I'm excited. Good. It's Thanksgiving weekend for us up here in Canada, so a lot of fun over the next little while, and I'm excited. And I was very excited with your opening week, Flash. Not only were you very fun to watch, but you swept the board like a champ.
Well, it's always a bonus. First of all, I want you to get your phone checked because the lack of text alarmed me. I was quite worried that your phone wasn't actually working or you wasn't getting a signal.
Yeah. You win. You fucking win. All right.
Thank you.
You fucking win.
Hey, I won the battle, but maybe not the war, eh?
Yeah, it was no.
Just grab some small little consolation there.
Look. I want our cappers to come on to hand out winners. So I was very impressed, and I loved it.
Are you not interested in my medals? Because this one's New York Giants at halftime and overall, and then I've got these are for today. Funnily enough, I got given them early.
Let me get a nice look at those medals. Oh, we're gonna need are those participation medals? Or are they actual?
No. They're just medals that I stole off one of the children in the condo just as a prop.
Okay, all right. Okay, let's get to work here. We start with Dolphins, Jets.
Yeah.
Flash. Dolphins, Jets is where you're getting your card started. This is very interesting. We've seen the Jets open up +2.5, and then they were at +3.5. 30 minutes ago? No longer. Now down to +3. Late money must be coming in on the Jets because we know the sharp money's been on the Dolphins all week, moving it from 2.5 to 3.5. Take it away for us, Flash. Dolphins, Jets.
Yeah, it's all about, it's a mismatch for me. There's a gulf in quality here. I mean, obviously there's no Tua, but I mean, Teddy gets this done because of the pace of his weapons. I mean, the bigger one for me is the picture of the AFC East. I mean, Dolphins sitting at 3-1 and got a chance to go 4-1 against the Jets. Listen, if anyone comes on any show, on any channel and says the Jets, then they need to be, the men in white coats need to go and pick them up very, very quickly and put them in a padded cell. I think that 3, I just see them. Listen, if you'd have said to me that they were -5, I still think that the Dolphins are at least a touchdown better. So I'm not complicated it. I took the -3. I've done a couple of 4-team teasers, but this is one of my singles. I'm not even bothered. I know that they were saying about there might be some questionables on Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, but I see the matchup. If them two play and the running game, and then let's talk about the D. How many points are there? This could be, I don't know, this could be 21-10. Do you know what I mean? I just got to go with the golf in quality, and I'm going with the Finns -3.
-3 at -110. Now, Flash, I know you've got other spots on this board, but there is a midge outbreak in Cleveland. The little tiny flies, And we have a request. Have you ever any experience playing with midge-infested pitches? And do you think
not midges? No, not really. I mean, obviously, no. I mean, I'd be making it up if I said that I even knew what you was talking about. I know what you're talking about, though. Locusts. I've seen locusts when I've South American football or something like that, or soccer. But midges, who cares anyway? Is that rounders you're talking about?
Oh God, I keep back. No, we have an issue here in Cleveland, and many cappers do not care and think it has nothing to do with the game. So we wanted to hear your take on midges here. Let's move on. Flash.
It's not a big thing, is it?
It really affected a playoff game that's fresh in everybody's minds in baseball about 15 years ago. So, we'll see if it has the same effect here. But I need to see. I just imagine that the Browns would probably be a little more comfortable with it than the Chargers. But let's move on with Flash. Flash, I love your next two games because I'm live betting these games. Speaking of which, are you available to hang out with me on either tonight's live game or tomorrow night's? Because if you got action on it, we'd love to have you on.
Maybe tomorrow. Maybe I can take. No. Tomorrow I've got a birthday party, and I've been vegetarian for 15 days. And someone's having a birthday party in an Argentinian steakhouse. Honestly, I am going to be like a fat boy in a cake shop. Honest to God, I am going to just be so bloated. I probably won't visit the toilet for like a week. Too much info, I know.
No, that's perfect.
Listen, long and short, no.
Okay. Bengals Ravens. Sunday nighter at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. 60 Fahrenheit, sunny, 8 miles per hour. We've already talked about the line movement back to the 3, and the Sharps have been on the Ravens so much so that they would move them to 3.5. And I guess at 3.5, the Bengals would get hammered immediately. How are you betting this one? Take it away for us, Flash. Bengals Ravens.
I see nothing but points. I got the over 47.5 because let's have a little look on both sides of the ball. They both scramble their absolute tits off if they get pressure. They both give up points on big plays. Jackson and Burrows both like to go deep. They make things happen. And I see it being a close game. This wouldn't surprise me if this was like a 31-28 or something mad in that sort. Listen, they both find a way to extend plays. They both know how to get points on the board. I wouldn't, if you want -3.5, +3.5, I'd go probably with the Bengals because I see it maybe coming down to a field goal and maybe even overtime. But at 47.5, oh my God, 27-21 gets me home. I see that. I was going to go the over first half as well. I just see that both the quarterbacks can extend plays and they put points on the board and they keep going for all 4 quarters.
Do you want the over 47 at -112?
Yeah, why not? Well, it don't matter. I've already got 47.5. I mean, if it falls at 47, it's a push. I mean, I need 48 tonight.
But that's not a bad price for the 47. So we'll give you that 47 at -112 for the Sunday nighter. That will be live betting right here. Let's go to the Monday nighter now for Flash. Raiders, Chiefs, Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. 77 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 8 miles per hour. We have Renfro concussion off the injury report. And then also Moreau upgraded. So looks like they will both be in the lineup. We've seen this line move. Let's move it over here. The Chiefs opened up at 7.5, and they're at 7 now. That 7.5 is at +111 if you want the Chiefs. And from a total perspective, it opened up at 52, and it's dropped a point to 51. And cash-wise in this one, as we haven't discussed it, 27% of the tickets, 29% of the cash on the Raiders. And then 86% of the tickets, 94% of the cash on the over, and it's dropped a point. So that's very, very interesting. Take it away for us, Flash. Raiders, Chiefs.
It's the Chiefs all the way. I mean, the Chiefs look to put up 7 points every time the ball is in Mahomes' hand against a Raiders side who obviously paid for me last week, halftime and full-time, but against a Broncos side who can't put up points and that they put up mid-20s. They don't get any pressure. Mahomes, it could get done for overthinking the situation of having too much time in the pocket. He could get through a couple of cigars. So for me, it's all about Raiders' inability to rush or get Mahomes out of his comfort zone. We know that the Chiefs are coming off of probably exemplary performance last week against the Bucks. -7. I've got 2 4-team teasers that end with the Chiefs -1. So I'm 6-point teaser. So let's hope I get there, because I think 7 is a cakewalk. And I've got 2 -1s as well. So I just don't see. I see the Raiders maybe putting up maybe 20 points. The Kansas, Chiefs start with a 3.
And you can get that 7 right now, -108 over.
There you go. Lock that in. I think that's my banker, to be honest. But again, I don't need to have a banker, because obviously I've got the 2 -1s in my 14.
I love it. I love it. Flash 6-0 thus far here in NFL Pub Hub. He's on the.
By the way, can I just have a little steward's inquiry, please, into Bobano? He's had like 463 picks, and he's only been like week 4.
He is just 3 weeks. He's only through 3. He's a high volume bettor.
27 picks he's had, hasn't he?
28. Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. No,
but good luck to him anyway.
He doesn't mess around, and he'll be closing this show up. Flash, Dolphins -3, the over 47 in Cincinnati, Baltimore, and the Chiefs -7, looking to be 9-0 here at the end of the day, or at the end of tomorrow. Flash, we love you. Thank you for taking the time to hang with us, and have a great, great Sunday, my man.
Yeah, and congratulations to everybody else who cashed last week, and let's hope that you double down again this week. Good luck and love to the family.
There he is, our guy Flash. Follow him on Twitter at Flash_37. Running hot. Let's bring on your next guest, the man whom we all looked up to and followed in his footsteps as a handicapper and as a man in the community. Please welcome to the show the host of the Peter Loshak Show. Peter Loshak in the house. Pete, how are you?
How do I look, Jim? I think I fucked up again this week, at least in the contest. No, I was. This is a weird week for the for NFL. I have a few plays that I'm on. My contest picks. I'm focusing a lot on college football, doing pretty well with it this year. And the deadline is 10 o'clock on Saturday for those picks. So, like, a lot of times I'm scrambling to finalize my picks. And this week in the contest, I think I made a few mistakes similar to 2 weeks ago. But overall, I got a few picks that I'm liking as far as bets are concerned. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Well, I'm about to go 0-1 here with the Packers. Thank God I bet them first half as well, but very disappointing second half over there. Pistol Pete, you're currently ranked 9th out of 16 cappers here on NFL Pub Hub. Week 1, you sweep the board. In week 3, you give it back. So you're sitting here.
I don't know what. I think it was just like no college football the first 2 weeks in NFL. I was just focusing. And then when college football came, everything became a complete tossed salad and fucking in the blender, and everything got confused and fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear you. And we love you. Look, AOD says we love you. We do. So let's get you back on the winning side of things. You start with Tennessee Titans at Washington Commanders, FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland, 60 Fahrenheit, sunny 8 miles per hour. We've seen this big move back to Washington from 2.5 to 1, which has surprised us to see sharps on Washington, like a lot of them have been all year. And I cannot do it again. But can you, Pete? How are you betting this one? Titans, Commanders.
This is one of those. Yeah, I've seen a bunch of sharps on Washington. I also follow and know a few people who, and they're on Tennessee. So this is one of those games where there's multiple smart people on both sides, multiple mid-range people who aren't smart or dumb on both sides, and a huge amount of massive morons also on both sides of the game. So, everyone's on both sides here. I think I'm on Washington. I took them earlier in the week, and who knows what the right side ultimately will be. Wentz, I don't really trust him, but there were some statistical and situational reasons to take Washington. So I bet him. I took him in the contest, and I was also on Tennessee last week in the contest and betting. So I think they're okay. We just need. I feel like Wentz. I don't know how you quantify Wentz, because when he's on his game, he's surfaceable. When he's off his game, you're like, I know he sucks. Why do I keep betting him? So maybe this is yet another situation where as opposed to someone like Tony Romo, who was just you bet him when he's a dog, fade him when he's a home favorite of a touchdown or more. So I don't know, man. I took Washington. I can't really justify it except for some statistical reasons. And, If it wins, great. If it loses, I'll have no explanation or
Well,
excuse.
I can understand the angle. You have this Titans team with such a weak passing game,
Right.
now losing Burks. So we've seen what Robert Woods and Ikine have done, and they're going to get a ton of looks. They've done very little.
Yeah.
Then you have a running game that the Titans are excellent with, and that's sort of the Commanders' bread and butter is defending the run. And then you have a Titans team defensively with Zach Cunningham and Bud Dupree out. You know, you take out two huge pieces of the defensive puzzle, and the market just continues to move towards the Commanders. So now we're sitting here, Pete, and you can have them. They're a pick 'em at a lot of books now.
Yeah.
They're even favored. They're -1 at some offshores. Right now, you can get them +1 at -106 or +101 on the money line. What would you prefer?
I'm sorry, what did you say? Because I was just going to say that like everything you said is true, except if Wentz gives the game away, that all means nothing. You know what I mean? And that's the big concern here. Sorry. So what did you say? +1 or what?
+1 at -106 or +101 money line.
All right, I'll take the money line at +106. Whatever.
+101. +101.
Yeah, +101. Oh, give me the money line. Give me the money line, Jim.
You are locked in.
And also, sorry, just some of the arguments on the other side from some of the Sharpie guys. You know, the Washington's offensive numbers are just in bottom 5 in a lot of categories, and it's possible that the conservatism on the side of Tennessee makes their offensive metrics look worse than it actually should be. You know, they have some top 3 and top 5 offensive metrics, which makes me nervous. So I might in the end wind up hedging it out with the Tennessee team total over, or just the over. I'm definitely leaning over the low total as well.
Well, you are locked in here. Pistol Pete, Loshak in the house. Let's move on to Pete's next spot on the board. Let me move back here. Here we go. Next up for Pete is Dolphins Jets, MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey, 58 Fahrenheit, sunny, 10 miles per hour. And the late move has gone to the Jets, who are now just 3-point dogs. They opened 2.5, went to 3.5, now at 3. Sharps have been on the Dolphins to push them to the 3.5, but now we see some buyback. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on this one, Pete. Take it away, Dolphins Jets.
Well, I kind of like the under here. I didn't bet this one in the contest. Obviously, the Miami offense is a lot more limited and less dynamic with Teddy at quarterback. And who knows what you're going to get from the Jets offense. It looks like the total's gotten bet up a little bit, I think. I bet it at 45, so I took under 45. That's my play on this one. The side is a little tricky. If you gave me a free play, I'd probably take the Dolphins, but that would make me nervous. But and who knows what's going to happen late in this game. I'd probably leaning first half under as well, and I'm probably going to bet that before kickoff, although I haven't bet it yet. But definitely leaning under. And once again, if Miami has an explosive offense and the Jets suddenly, have an effective offense and the game goes to 60, I'll have no answers or excuses other than it's possible I'm a shitty capper. And that's my analysis of this one, Jim. I'm taking the under. I'm on the under. I bet it. What is it right now? Is it up to 45.5? What am I seeing here?
It's up to 46.5.
Yeah, so that's a terrible sign. But I'll take it anyway. You can give me whatever you got there.
All right. Yeah, that is a shocking move to the under 46.5. But you're not the first person to go under it here on the show.
Yeah, who knows? Who the hell knows? So much variance in the NFL,
Okay.
Hopefully it breaks my way.
All right, Pistol Pete, next up for you, your last game on the card is 49ers Panthers, Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina, 64 Fahrenheit, cloudy, 5 miles per hour. The Panthers dealing with injuries. The Jeremy Chin injury hurts bad, especially if Xavier Woods is not going to be out there. Could be a real rough secondary, and we know that Shanny can take advantage of it through the first 15 scripted plays, but when we get off the scripted plays, Jimmy G looks very pedestrian. Yeah. Take it away for us, Pete. Niners, Panthers.
Well, this is another one where I bet the under. I'm not sure what I'm assuming this one might have gotten bet up a little bit as well. I took 39. What are you seeing right now? Let me see.
It's gone up. It's gone up to 40. Yeah. And Big Ragoo showed no fear in the face of that. He's on the under.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but this is I stopped. I was going to move on it at 39. I saw it was 38.5, and I was like, okay, but I saw it was juiced to the over. Then 39, then 39.5, now 40, and now I'm like, I'm missing something, I guess.
Maybe. Sometimes these market moves are just wrong, and the sharps are like sometimes there's people who are credited as sharps, and then after a few weeks of NFL, a few weeks of college football, they get demoted to just the general pack of coin flippers. So who knows who's betting this up? But I took a shot with the under 30, or now it's a 40, whatever you can give me. I'll take that. I think that both teams are going to be very conservative offensively here, especially as the game wears on. And I also took the first half under. I got 20. That's probably higher now. I'm guessing you can get 21 somewhere, or 20 and a half. But I don't love it, but I'm not going to pull it. And if it loses, I'll be okay with it. But yeah, I'm taking the under. Very, very happy here that Big Ragoo is on it for sure.
You are locked in. Under 40 at -108 for Niners Panthers. You're on the under 46.5 at Dolphins Jets. And you are on Washington money line at +101. That's where you stand right now. Pistol Pete Loshak. Pete, is there anything you're looking at in Padres Mets this evening?
Oh, no. I am not looking. I'm really all about college football and prepping for college basketball right now.
Oh, I love it. Can't wait to hear both of those spots for you as we move forward. Thank you, Pistol Pete, coming to us from Brooklyn, New York. We love you. Follow Pete on Twitter at @PLoshak, and check him out every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern here on Pub Sports Radio. We love you, man. We love you, Pete. Great work. Great work. Any final words you want to just bounce off?
No, my final words are thank you for loving me. No, I'm kidding. And I love you too. I love you too, and all the viewers as well. That's my final words.
There he is, Pistol Pete Loshak. We have Bobano joining us. He's number one in our NFL Pub Hub. He will be joining us shortly. He is 19-9, and he will be coming on. Before he comes on to headline this show, let's review all of the action so far that is being given out. I cashed the Packers first half, and I'm going to lose on them -8. I have Patriots -3, 49ers first quarter, first half -3.5, first quarter -1, full first half -3.5, and Eagles first half -3, Eagles full game -5. I'm interested in adding the Rams first half and the Cleveland Browns. That's my thoughts here. And we have action from all of our cappers. Bobano is almost ready to rock with us here and coming on early. Thank you for that, Bobano. Gogster's on teased the Jags at -1 and the under 49.5. He in Texans Jags. He teased the Browns to +8 and the over 41 at First Energy, and he's on Eckler over 96.5 rushing receiving. Dalvin Cook over 77.5 rush yards and the Vikings -7.5. Curtis Samuel over 4.5 receptions, and he's on the Eagles -5.5 and Kyler Murray over 22.5 rush yards. Bebenek is on the Chargers first half, the under 46 in Dolphins Jets, and the Niners first half and Eagles -5.5, and Dobbins, J.K. Dobbins over 50.5 rush yards. Ragoo's on the first half under 23.5 in Atlanta, Tampa. He's on the Patriots team total over 24 and the Pats -3, and he's on the under 40 in Niners, Panthers as well. He's on the Cowboys +5.5, and he put a teaser together with the Vikings -1.5 and the Jets +9. Then we have Pistol Pete Loshak. Pete starts with Washington money line, under 46.5 in Miami, New York Jets, and the under 40 in Niners Panthers. So we have two cappers on that, even though the market's going up against them. Flash, who went 6-0 last week, is on the Dolphins -3, the over 47 in Cincinnati, Baltimore, and the Chiefs -7. Now we bring on the number one capper thus far this year on NFL Pub Hub. 19-9 plus 9.03 units. He's cashed in every week he's been on the show plus units. And as Mark Nick says right now, the great Bobano. Please welcome him to the show. Ian Cameron in the house. Ian, how are you?
You know who's cashing in every week, too, in the NFL? Brian Dable. Make this guy the coach of the year already. Way to go, Giants. Great start to the day.
Spectacular work by Dable and the Giants. I thought I was right at halftime. And I lose a tiny bit of vig, but and then I lose the Packers in the contest. Sucks. Hurricane Bobano, they're calling you in the chat. Let's get to work, Bobano.
Yep.
Tennessee Titans, Washington Commanders, FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Just heard Pete give out Washington. We've seen this huge market move towards Washington. How are you betting this one?
Yeah, I'm on Tennessee. I know there's issues with both of these teams from an injury standpoint. I'm going to just keep it simple. It's not like I love Tennessee, but we've seen the Titans kind of right the ship. And how's that loss looking in week 1 to the Giants now? You know, with the way the Giants are playing, it's not that bad of a loss when you think about it with what we've seen from the New York Giants lately. You know, we've seen Tennessee. They got obviously thrashed against Buffalo, but starting to turn it around. The defense is playing better. They're forcing turnovers. Tannehill's settling in. They're running the football better. Good win in the division against the Colts. A little worried about the spot, I will admit. You know, on the road for the second straight week. That was a big division win last week. You're playing a non-conference game. Look, I get it from a spot perspective. There's reasons to like Washington, but Washington sucks. Washington is a bad football team. I've been fading them every week. They were in a good spot last week, too. For a lot of people said, oh, great spot for Washington here. Dallas off a Monday night win against the Giants, ripe for the picking with that Washington team. And Washington spit the bit again last week against Dallas. Carson Wentz is terrible. He's awful. He keeps getting worse, not better. The O-line's awful. McLaurin is a good receiver, and I like the way Dotson's playing, but guess what? Dotson's out today. That's a huge loss. He's actually one of the receivers that's made an impact on this Commanders team. It's definitely going to be a huge blow to the offense. The defense has been, I think, bad. There's been some good glimpses every now and then from them, but for the most part, they haven't been great. And at the end of the day, this team's been in good spots now a couple weeks in a row, and they've still managed to not get the job done, screw up, play poorly, not win, not cover. I don't think it's asking too much for Tennessee, and I'm not high on Tennessee, but my numbers had Tennessee 3-point favorites in this game. Not just pick them here in this game. So I like the Titans here. Just ask them to win this game against this hapless, horrible Washington team. I don't think it's asking too much.
You've got it. 19-9 on our show right now, plus 9.03 units. And Bobano starts his card with Titans money line. No fear of this market move towards the Commanders. Let's move on to the next spot. We've talked about the injuries. We've talked about the market move towards the late market move towards the Jets. This opened up 2.5. Sharps hammered the Dolphins, turned them into 3.5-point favorites on the road. We're now sitting at a 58 Fahrenheit. Sunny, 10 miles per hour at MetLife. Bobano, take it away. Dolphins, Jets.
I'm going to ride the Teddy Bridgewater money train on the road. This guy is 24-8 against the spread on the road as an NFL starting quarterback. That's through a bunch of different teams. To me, this is just, we're giving the Jets too much credit for 2 lucky as shit victories. That's essentially what they got. Two thefts. We're giving the Jets too much credit for 2 thefts. Not 2 wins, 2 thefts. 2 stolen victories. 2 games they were on their verge of losing, and losing decisively. Do you know that when they beat Cleveland, they were down by double digits in the fourth quarter? Do you know that when they beat Pittsburgh last week, they were down by double digits in the fourth quarter? I mean, to me, this is a team that all of a sudden we're thinking that the Jets are good. I mean, they stole a couple of games they probably shouldn't have won. Pittsburgh's defense collapsed down the stretch. Cleveland just gave the game away with mistakes, letting receivers get behind the defense, not recovering onside kicks. I mean, we're giving the Jets a little too much love for 2 wins that really they got by the skin of their teeth, and more so that because the opponent screwed up, not so much what they did. And I like this situation, right? This is now going to be the first start for Teddy Bridgewater with Tua's absence here. Rally around him. I'm sure they will. They've got the extra time to get Teddy acclimated with more practice reps because they played last Thursday night going into this football game. I think Miami, it's a cheap number. They're still the better football team, in my opinion. I am worried about Xavier Howard being out. It's a big loss, but everybody's going to be present on offense. Waddle, Hill, they'll all be there. You've got weapons if you're Teddy. You've got a better offensive line this year. And to me, the New York Jets have won games in spite of not playing good football for 4 quarters. You can't get away with that. You can't play like you did for Pittsburgh most of that game every week and expect to win, or most of the game like you did against Cleveland every week and expect to win. Miami, like I said, this guy's just been an ATS machine on the road as a starting quarterback. He started a bunch of games in this league. Can he do what Tua does? No. Has he got the arm Tua has deep throwing the ball? No. But he did move the ball against the Bengals at times last week when he came in off the bench. He's serviceable. You can work around him. You've got a good offensive-minded head coach to put him in his in a position where he can accentuate his strengths. So to me, I'm looking at this here where the Miami's cheap because of everything that's going on with Tua.
You got him. Dolphins -3 at -113. That's available right now at Pinnacle. Let's keep rolling with Bobano. Bobano, we move on to Chargers Browns. And now we get Bobano's take on the Midge outbreak in Cleveland. First Energy Stadium, 58 Fahrenheit, sunny, 50 miles per hour. We've talked about this game, and now we get to hear Bobano's take. Any fear of these midges, Bobano?
There's definitely some fear. This is a game that I thought for sure I was going to end up making an official play on it. I was leaning a little bit toward the Chargers, but I'm not sure I'm going to take it now. And I lean to the over a little bit. But you know what? This is one of those weeks where it's 19-9, as you can see with the show record. I did consider this for the contest, the Chargers as well, over the total as well. But the part of me that why I like the over was I thought, we could see Clowney out for Cleveland again. It looks like he's going to play. We know Myles Garrett's been banged up, the pass rush, and we thought maybe that could lead to a better offensive opportunity here for the Chargers. But at the end of the day, Myles Garrett's going to play, obviously, following the car crash he was in. And it looks like Jadeveon Clowney's set to play as well for Cleveland. So that's two big pieces of the pass rush and the defensive front, your two edge rushers, and the Chargers' offensive line. Look, I thought they played well against Houston last week, but boy, I don't think they're going to be challenged by Houston the way they'll be challenged today by that Cleveland pass rush. And they're still without Rashawn Slater, a Pro Bowl caliber. He is a Pro Bowl offensive lineman. They'll miss him dearly. So, again, I put this on the show because I thought I might have a play on it, but I'm pulling back here a little bit. Lean Chargers, lean over. I will not make either official.
I'm close to moving on the Browns. You could say that I've missed the boat a bit with this market move late towards them, but
plus I feel like with the Chargers, they almost blew it against Houston last week. Not a good look. I know they controlled that game most of the way. It feels like a Brown spot off a tough loss to Atlanta as well. Laying points on the road, second straight road game as well for the Chargers. So there's lots of reasons why I'm pulling back on them. Plus I've got them win total, a big bet on their win total over 8.5. So, just I'm going to cheer for them to win the game because of that.
Yeah, no, I love it. Well put. And look, your record is superlative. And so focus on the spots that you really want to attack. And maybe this next one is Detroit Lions, New England Patriots, Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. I'm on the Patriots -3. We know that Zappy will be in. Lions dealing with injuries. Lions playing outdoors for the first time this year. Can't wait to hear Bobano's take. Take it away.
It's a Detroit game. You know what I'm betting? Another over, of course. 45 and a half, whatever's out there. If it was 45, I took it. 45 and a half is fine. Detroit 4-0 to the over this year. Can't stop a nosebleed. And it's everything. They can't stop the pass. They can't stop the run. It's been disappointing. And, you would think at some point, I know Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator's on the hot seat, rumblings that he may not survive, especially if they have another bad defensive showing. Oh, the total's gone up. I'm seeing, 47. Holy crap. I'll still make it official at 47. With the total. I thought I was shocked the total went down as low as 45 and a half by late last night. And I'm like, why are they betting this thing under? Have you been watching Detroit? They have a terrible defense, absolutely awful, but their offense is going to get Amon-Ra St. Brown back, best receiver. Jared Goff's throwing for 1,100 passing yards so far this year, 11 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's been fine. And don't look now, but this New England defense that we all thought coming into the year, hey, New England may struggle on offense a little bit, but that defense looks pretty good. Not the last 2 weeks. Baltimore up and down the field against New England's defense. Green Bay up and down the field they went against New England's defense. I think Detroit can have offensive success today in this game, and I think they will, even on the road, especially with St. Brown back. But I think Zappy and the Patriots, they'll move the ball as well. Zappy has a good arm, okay? They're going to be able to run the football because we saw what Rashad Penny did, slicing that Lion run defense last week for Seattle. You've got Ramondre Stevenson, Damian Harris. They both ran the ball well against Green Bay, another leaky run defense. So does Detroit. They can't stop the run. They'll be able to run successfully, get big plays on the ground running it, and that'll take some pressure off Bailey Zappi. Play action is going to work. And he's got a good enough arm to take advantage. If the run game works for New England like it did last week, Zappe has a good enough arm to take advantage of it down the field with play action passes. And I think that will work against this Detroit defense. So total's gone up to 47. Not the best of the number anymore, but I still like this one quite a bit over to the total.
Well, we have some options, though. Pinnacle has the 46 at minus 117, the 46.5 at minus 111, and the 47 at minus 103. What would you prefer?
Oh, let's do 46 minus 117. Let's do that.
All right, you got it. 46 at minus 117. Let me just
7 cents more than your standard minus 110. I can live with that.
Over 46 at minus 117. We roll on with Bobano. I think that sealed the deal, and I'll go over it in a second, but I think that sealed the deal for my Patriots team total over. And let me just see exactly what I'm being offered here.
I think it's a game where both teams put up some points. I think Detroit's going to – I definitely think New England will. And like I said, I like that kid's arm, Zappe, from Western Kentucky last year. The guy can sling it. He's got a decent arm. They can run the football. It's going to take pressure off him, and it'll leave receivers wide open because I think they're going to have to commit to the run.
I like it. Millsy, the swag is a bit of an issue with the green screen. It's cut down a lot of my it made things very difficult. Got to wear black every single show. Let's move on. Bobano, over 46 minus 117, Detroit, New England. Next up is the Eagles, Cardinals. And all we've heard is Eagles, 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 Eagles from everyone, including myself. Andy did it a little differently with the Eagles first half team total over. I'm Eagles first half -3, full game -5. We have a lot of Eagles love. Are you doing anything different here, or are you giving us more confidence in the Philadelphia Eagles?
Of course, more confidence. I don't want any part of Arizona. That might have been the most ridiculous, non-deserving, fraudulent win that you will ever see last week from the Arizona Cardinals. They did nothing in that game, all right? Offensively, they were putrid for most of the game. Defensively, they were actually okay defensively. I'll give them that. But that was a game where they were in a battle, and in fact, they were down in the first half. And do you know what Baker Mayfield did last week? He said, you know what? You guys suck, but I suck even more. I don't want the game. Here you go. With 2 interceptions. And it completely changed the game, and Arizona took advantage after that. So to me, Philadelphia for me is cheap. Arizona has no home field edge. Arizona comes into this game 0-7 straight up in ATS their last 7 home games going back to last year. They're already 0-2 straight up in ATS at home this year, lost by a touchdown or more on this field to Kansas City, to the Rams. They have issues at wide receiver. They've had issues at wide receiver all year. It's hard to find players to step up. They're very thin at that position. The defense has been J.J. Watt in and out with injuries. That's a problem. The defense overall, I don't love their secondary. I think that secondary can be picked on. Jalen Hurts is the quarterback to do that, especially now that he has A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, a great receiving duo. And that offensive line actually today it's very concerning. Rodney Hudson, the center, Justin Pugh. There are a lot of names in that offensive line for Arizona that are banged up and may not be able to play here in this game today. And look, Philadelphia is great in the trenches. They have a good offensive line, a very good defensive line, and Arizona could be very shorthanded with their offensive line today. So good luck trying to block and protect Kyler Murray and open up holes for the run game, with a shorthanded, depleted offensive line against, I think, a very good front seven in the Philadelphia Eagles. So it's a team that hasn't won and covered at home in forever. It's a cheap price, in my opinion, with the superior team. So Philadelphia -5 for me.
You got it. -5, -111. That wasn't available when the show started. So there is 5s now available. -5, -111 for Bobano. Millsy's on A.J. Brown over 5.5 receptions at plus money. Let's move on to Cowboys Rams. So I'm happy that you're talking about this spot. Only Ragoo's talked about it so far, Ian, and Ragoo moved on the Cowboys. And I kind of want the Rams, and I was very close to moving on them first half. And his move on the Cowboys has made me tap the brakes. Maybe you can help me accelerate to that bet. Take it away for us, Cowboys, Rams in Inglewood, California.
Yeah, I mean, I've changed my tune on Dallas. I was not very enamored with the prospects of Cooper Rush and this Dallas offense. And but they've changed my tune, and they've changed my tune because of their defense. Their defense has been terrific. I mean, Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, Trayvon Diggs in the secondary. They got playmakers on that defense, and it's showing right now. Even Leighton Vander Esch is playing well, and I thought that guy's career was dead. So, everything's going well right now for this Dallas defense. They played incredible, and this is a matchup play for me. Certainly the Rams on a short week, that doesn't help, but they are off a loss that's not going to sit well. I know they'll want to bounce back, but they were down to their third string center last week on the offensive line. They're banged up on that offensive line. Joe Noteboom, the left tackle, he's given up among the top three pressures allowed by a starting left tackle in the NFL this year. And obviously that's the guy that's taken over for Andrew Whitworth, who retired in the offseason. So now you've got a guy that's top three in the league, giving up the most quarterback pressures on the left tackle spot. And Dallas has just got this pass rush that is ferocious and just blowing up the line of scrimmage week in and week out. I think it's a tough matchup for that Rams offense because of how that offensive line is just depleted and shorthanded at the moment against this Dallas defense. Now it's Rush on the road. Rush is playing a pretty good defense here with the LA Rams. Could this finally be a game where he makes a few mistakes and kind of looks like a backup quarterback finally? He's avoided mistakes like crazy. He's straight up an ATS victory for him in every start he's made in the NFL. That's going to be the test, but I'm willing to trust him to do what he's done, mistake-free football, rely on Zeke and Pollard running the ball, make good decisions. He's done that, and I'll take Dallas here with the points. I just think that offensive line for the Rams is really tough today against that Dallas front seven.
That's all I needed to hear. You and Ragoo on the Cowboys. I will not move on the Rams first half. That's the beauty of this show and all of us working together. And I've got 3 spots that I want to move on. Marcelo believe in the exact same look.
Pretty good road underdogs long term as well. Even when Jason Garrett was coaching here, Dallas not the best laying points, but getting points, they were pretty good in that role. And here they are again catching points. That's
going to make my additions easier. So at this point, I want to add the Browns. I want to add that Tampa first half under that Ragoo was talking about. And I want to add the Patriots team total over, but I would much prefer 24 than 24.5, and I'm not sure if I want to pay for it, so I have to decide that stuff. All right, now we have Bobano talking about our highlight games here at Pub Sports Radio. I'm going to be live tonight. I
don't always have strong opinions on the primetime games, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, but I like the games from a betting perspective. I've got plays on them, both of them.
Oh, I'm pumped. I love it. And then Monday, October 10th, Thanksgiving for us here up north, and Bobano will be joining me for the first. Do I still have you for the first half, even though it's Thanksgiving? I should have. You might.
Oh yeah, shit! It's Thanksgiving. I'm thinking because there's family shit going on. I'll be visiting some relatives, some family during the day, and for dinner, and I might be able to get out of there by 8, and maybe I might miss the very beginning of the first quarter, but
I know that all works for me, but I don't know, man. Yeah. I love that you fight the good fight. I love it. I respect it. So that's a much better answer than I thought I was going to get, but I love it. And we are also your family. Okay, Bengals, Ravens, M&T Bank Stadium, Baltimore, Maryland, 60 Fahrenheit, sunny 8 miles per hour. Jerry Young says, was Ian on the Cowboys? Both Ian and the big Ragoo are on the Cowboys, which has taken me off my possible edition of the Rams first half. And there he is right there in the chat, big Ragoo in the house. All right, Bengals, Ravens, Sunday Night Football. We know that the Sharps are on the Ravens, but at what number? The Bengals, whenever they get to 3.5, so obviously the Ravens at 3 are being hammered. It gets to 3.5, and we see the Bengals getting bet and brought back to the Ravens at 3. Take it away for us here, the Sunday Nighter. Can't wait to hear your breakdown.
I'm on the Bengals and the over, side and total in this game. Bengals with the extra time to prepare. Baltimore can't be trusted at the moment defensively. I mean, they give up the game against Buffalo. Let's not forget that even though they beat New England a couple weeks ago, Patriots offense was moving the ball at will against that Ravens defense. And if not for Mac Jones turning the ball over a couple of times, maybe Baltimore doesn't win that game. So there's problems right now with the Ravens defense. They haven't been able to get consistent stops. They haven't been able to get a consistent pass rush either. And now facing, Joe Burrow and the Bengals, the offense is coming around. You saw T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, receivers get going. They're still having a tough time running the football. That's my concern. Mixon's still not running the ball with much effectiveness. They got to improve that. But the O-line, at least pass protection-wise, is starting to improve a little bit. The fact that you can get more than a field goal here with Cincinnati, I think it's a good take. I also think this game could find its way up and over the total. You have Baltimore, and I like the situation too. Baltimore's game stayed under last week against Buffalo. Remember, the weather wasn't great for that game. There was some rain. Cincinnati, Miami stayed under the total, which wasn't a total shock. Tua on a short week. Things were a little bit, and then he got hurt in that game. So that game stayed under. Now you've got both offenses that are more than capable, and I think you'll see the game get up and over that 48 and a half.
Let's review how you want to bet this exactly. Millsy all over me today. +3 is available at -102. Do you want to pay for the hook? It's expensive. 3.5 is -125.
See, I bet it at 3.5, and it was -110.
Oh, beautiful! Perfect timing. You nailed that timing. That was not easy.
Nailed the timing. It's not easy to find that, but I did. +3.5, -110. Do I want to? That's a tough call. You know what? Let's go with +3.5, -120. I could see this being a field goal victory for Baltimore, field goal victory for Seattle. I'll buy up for the -120. Don't normally do that, but I will here.
And MDR also, Cincy +3.5 and the over 40.5, +145, same game parlay. Here, total wise, the 47.5 is at -104. The 47 -112.
Yeah, I'll take that. 47 -112. Yep.
Over 47 -112. And Bobano is in. Let's move on to the Monday nighter. This will be the final game that we break down here on the show. I'm going to make a few additions here. And here we go. Anytime you watch us tomorrow night, we get into the red zone. It's the Bobano zone. He calls the game. I've been enjoying our Monday nights immensely, Ian. Take it away for us. Raiders, Chiefs. The Raiders getting some reinforcements on offense, and this line has gone to 7. 7-point dogs here in a divisional battle at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. 59 Fahrenheit, sunny, 11 miles per hour at kickoff. The floor is yours, Ian.
So I am one of those people that have discovered, and I hate giving money to the Ontario Lottery Corporation, OLG, but Proline Plus, their online book, has given in Ontario, on Ontario only, I've been able to find some gems, some off-market numbers with certain sides and totals that I like that aren't often available in a lot of spots. And we've got one of those situations here with Raiders Chiefs. I'm on Las Vegas +8.5, -120. At that book. Now there's 7.5s widely available, but if you actually go to that book, if you're in Ontario and you Proline, and I hate giving them money, the lottery, the government and the OLG, but you can get Las Vegas +8.5, -120 there, and not terrible price. I mean, obviously got to lay a little bit more, -120, not -110, but to get 8.5, that was worth it to me. I think the Raiders are in this football game. Kansas City, people will fall in love. It was a great performance last week against Tampa Bay on Sunday Night Football. They dominated that game. Clearly, they wanted it. If you hear every quote, they were excited to beat Tom Brady and the Bucs. There's no question about that. They played like it. Las Vegas struggles through the early part of the year. We know the offense underachieved with Derek Carr and all those weapons, and yet they were losing and not putting drives together when they needed to. They finally did that against Denver for their first win last week. They finally have some confidence, a little good spirit. Mark Davis had that little closed-door meeting with Josh McDaniels. I don't know if that's the reason they played better either, but certainly it helped because they did play a lot better against Denver. Now they go into Kansas City. And look, they've given Kansas City some tough games. Las Vegas has played Kansas City tough the last year or two. I like getting the 8.5 here with the Raiders. If you can only find the books that are 7, 7.5, I still endorse it. As long as it's 7 or better, I endorse the Raiders here. And I like over as well in this game. I would not be surprised to see another high-scoring affair. I still have issues with the Raiders' defense. Hell, we just saw the Raiders' defense give up big pass plays to Russell Wilson and the Denver offense last week. Remember that KJ Hamler bomb to the 5-yard line? Brought him within 2 points. Denver scored 24 points or something in that game. That's a bad Denver offense. Kansas City will move it, but I think the Raiders offense gets going here as well. So I like the over, and I like the Raiders as a road dog.
And we can get you that over at 51. It's gone up to 51.5 and 52 but we can get you the 51 at minus 114 if you'd like it.
Yeah, let me see with that total. 51 at, even better, 51 minus 109. Cool bet.
Oh, beautiful. You got over
Beautiful.
51 minus 109 for Bobano. Bobano, our leader, NFL Pub Hub. He's going after Big Ragoo's title. Raiders plus 8.5 and the over 51. What I'd like to do as well is I'd like to have a trophy where we have the winning capper and the record. That's part of the fun of keeping these records. That'd be a fun trophy to have every year. See who's the winner of our NFL Pub Hub. Bobano's on the Raiders plus 8.5 and the over 51. Bengals plus 3.5 minus 125, the over 47. The Cowboys plus 5.5 at minus 109. The Eagles minus 5 at minus 111. He's on the over 46 at minus 117 in Detroit, New England. And he is on the no bet in the Chargers-Browns game, and he's on the Dolphins minus 3. Follow Bobano at Bobano on Twitter, and check us out on Monday for the live bet stream here on Pub Sports Radio. Great work. Thanks for headlining this show, Bobano, my man, and have a giant Sunday.
Let's have a big NFL Sunday, everybody. Enjoy the games. Jimmy, good luck to you. Good luck to everyone watching. Let's get some cash.
Let's get that cash. There he is, Bobano, right there. Thank you all for joining the show. Tori Coker, Jay Landon, Rants, top set, going with a Gesicki over 27 receiving yards. MDR 24. What a great group. Rants, Danny Lopez, Gerald Jones, Coyne, Billy Friedrich. Love you guys. Millsy, Jay Rowe, Smith Legacy, The Real DJX, Drew Vinsky, Jerry Young, Bo Jackson, Marcelo Turnsey, Chris Brady, Terry Walker, The Fix is in. All you guys, Alex Gagnon, Zach C, Joe. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for the Gas Report. Thank you to our producer, Jose, who does such a great job. His video's live right now for Padres Mets. You got a few minutes before kickoff. Why don't you check that out? But on behalf of all of us, thank you so much for watching our NFL Pop-Up. And then join us tonight. I think my mom might make an appearance on the show. We're going to mess with the studio, see if we can get the green screen all the way across so we can get the table back.
If your mom's in, I'm in.
I love it. Go out there and get that cash. I've got some additions to make. By the way, I'm going to make these 3 additions. It's just that team total at 24.5 for 24, but I'm going to go with that Ragoo Tampa first half under. I love that breakdown. I'm going to move on the Browns, and then it's the Patriots team total is the next. Razor Sharp picks, Bills Steelers under 45. Thank you for sharing that with us, Razor. Go out there and have a giant week 5. Started out 1-1 in that Packers game. Want some more? Let's go out there and get that fucking cash.